I've heard many stories, but not facts, that most migrants who made their way successfully to Australia, usually they don't end up quite well. Say even if you are a Caucasian migrant and you made your way to Australia, to these four major cities, metropolitan areas, such as Sydney metropolitan, Brisbane metropolitan, Melbourne metropolitan, as well as Perth metropolitan regions. Generally, you will find yourself in a very difficult situation after graduation. Depending on which degree you chose to study, you might find yourself got placed in an awkward situation where you cannot decide whether to stay or to depart from the country and find some decently paid job in your home countries. Well, I have to tell you guys that there always comes at a time when you just have to be flexible, and as well as you need to be determined. You need to learn how to make quick and sound or adequate decisions. Say me, I just discovered that it was the right call that I departed from the country, or I risked getting myself killed. I didn't know what would happen if I chose to stay there as an lawful non-citizen. I still have to admit, it still bothers me that I didn't choose, the second option, that I stay there, just try to grab myself some other gigs, like construction work, as well as some casual office work, like an appointment scheduler or workflow planner, or some IT contract work, like temporary solution architect, or even systems administrator. But despite the great effort I put in applying for legal and long-term jobs in Sydney, Australia, I still gigantic flows of rejection stroke me mercilessly. And you just have to know that you just have to recognize the fact that nowadays most of these local domestic Aussie companies, they don't usually aim to hire fresh and young graduates, and they always tend they tend to seek those who have years and even decades of expertise in that particular realm of in that particular realm of specialization, or work place of work. So yeah, either as a migrant worker, and that includes international students. You will end up like, you know, working for a moderately you will usually end up working for a company with moderately large size, and you find yourself, you know, like you just begin to lose your sense of purpose there, other than making the ends meet, say paying your rents, paying your bills, paying for food, you know, etc. You just probably it's due to the fact that I didn't put in much effort in securing, and I didn't put in sufficient amount of effort in securing my place in Sydney, Australia. So I really do regret it a little bit. You know, I do regret greatly that I didn't. I failed, you know, to get things sorted beforehand, ASAP, before other things went south, before, you know, the imminent expiry of my substantive visa, which was a student visa. That's pretty shit. Damn it. God damn it. Yeah, so I really hope you guys can learn from my mistakes. And I suppose I will just stay in China for maybe another year, and I will still continue to plot my return to Sydney, Australia. Probably first to some regional Australian cities like Hobart, Canberra, you know, even Townsville or Cairn, probably. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's the part that makes me feel most conflicted. I just have to admit the facts, the sufferings, the strugglings I've been experiencing. So I hope you guys can understand that. And thank you again for watching. I'm your host, Francis and Dead, signing off. See you next time. God bless. Stay awesome. Cheers.